Well, hello, Andrea.
Oh, hi, Danny. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I was just going to do a video and I was going to talk about some world events. You want to join in?
I would love to do that.
Awesome. Because I think what's going on in the world is we're feeling kind of a ripple effect around the whole world. It's kind of cray-cray what's going on. Today, yesterday, Boris Johnson resigned. And did he actually say, well, it is what it is? His resignation speech was the most bizarre.
And did you hear Hugh Grant, the actor Hugh Grant? He tweeted or whatever, hey, everyone, play Benny Hill when he leaves.
Oh,
So there were people there and they played the Benny Hill song out loud as he left, that funny
oh my gosh. Oh my
wow.
God.
So yeah, it's just, he looks like a clown. And in fact, we saw him not staying, I believe, on one of our world news. We did on him.
Yeah.
So
we didn't see him sticking around.
No.
And I saw him the night before when he was talking to Parliament, and it sounded like he was sticking around. And then the next day, Benny Hill. Off he goes.
Yeah. Well, there was quite a few resignations, I believe, the day before, and that was like the final blow.
Yeah. Benny Hill. I can't believe that you even know who Benny Hill is.
Because my grandparents would watch it, and sometimes I would stay with them, and they would watch Benny Hill and just laugh. And then I just remember him slapping the older man on the top of the head and chasing girls and the funny music. I couldn't describe an episode, but that's what I kind of remember.
Him chasing girls.
Yeah.
So funny. I mean, I'm like, Benny Hill. Oh my gosh. Okay. Other things in the news. Speaking of ripple effects, Prime Minister of Japan, ex-Prime Minister of Japan, was assassinated.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and Japan has one of the lowest gun ownerships, some of the strictest gun laws. So I can't wait to see how MTG plays that.
Yeah,
see, get more guns.
There was one gun-related death reported in Japan in 2021. Now, whether that's true or not, the number, but that's a really low number, even if they're fibbing a bit.
Yeah.
So it's like a zero tolerance.
Yeah, we win, by the way. We've already had over 300 this year. Over 300.
I don't know what's going on with you guys.
Well, I do, and I'm going to let you all know in 3 more days. I'm going to let everybody know what's going on with the United States.
Okay.
So tune in.
What's happening in 3 days?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just making this up. Ripple effect. What is the world looking at the US, which I know they are, because we used to be leaders in democracy, but are they looking at the US and are they changing their laws to suit the current Supreme Court? And if they are, will that shift when a new Supreme Court comes in?
Right, because the United States is kind of like the big brother of all the countries, right? Certainly to Canada.
Right.
And I hope we don't mimic certain things, but a lot of countries do sort of,
Yeah.
But well, I guess we'll check the cards, won't we?
Check the cards. All right. So that's going to be kind of the way we're going to go with this. It's the ripple effect of world news. But first, I want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what this is.
Is that a spaceship you're building in your backyard?
You know, it's no fun to play guess what this is with a psychic. It's like,
I always win.
yeah.
That's CERN.
Yeah, so this is the CERN, you're right.
The CERN collider.
Particle collider.
Yeah. So apparently they flipped the switch back on Tuesday, July 5th. I guess it had been off for a while. And I know a lot of people in the chats and stuff online have been concerned about this, as am I, because I don't think humans are advanced enough to understand what we're really doing and playing around with.
Yeah.
So they're set, it's like the CERN collider is, I believe, miles long or a mile long or something, and they send particles through really top speed for them to collide and create something or to observe what happens. Well, dudes, what if you do something wrong?
Did you say dudes?
I said dudes. I said, listen,
Dudes?
dudes.
Scientist dudes, what if you do something wrong?
Exactly.
You don't mess with
So,
that.
no.
And what are they going to learn from it? Okay, I know some big-headed scientist is going to go, oh, well, we're going to learn about God or something. Is that what they're trying to do, is find the God particle?
Yeah, something about the God particle. I don't know. I don't quite understand what they're doing. And I doubt we truly know what they're doing. But how do you build? It's enormous, and it must have cost a fortune to create and to maintain. Where's all this money coming from?
Not from Donald Trump.
You know, there's lots of diseases they're not curing yet, but they've built this gigantic thing to throw some atoms around.
To see what happens when they crash. It's like a crash test dummy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
So
you know, and it's like this. Sorry for interrupting, but
I'm used to it.
my channel.
Oh, snap. Laying it down. Danny style.
So that's the same argument with us spending all this money going into space. We're screwing up our planet so bad. What are we doing trying to go into space so we can screw up that planet? Why don't we spend some of the money fixing these things down here? Now, the other side of that is that because of us going to space, we have some pretty crazy and really good inventions and things for down here, like Velcro.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you know what I'm saying.
So do you want to look at kind of what's going to happen with this collider being turned back on, and
Yeah.
or if we as in humans should even be playing around with this?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
CERN collider.
And I'm hearing like, no, you shouldn't be messing around with this.
Like, why don't they go clean the oceans first with all that money? Give everyone in the world clean drinking water, or food, or
We need clean drinking water.
kind of essential, kind of on the top two of things we need.
Oh, I don't like the first card that just kind of flopped out when I was shuffling. Okay. Oh. Got to use my cheat sheet because it's a color card. Okay. Guests first.
I won't speak unless you let me. That's why I'm on your channel. All right,
You're
so here
so
we
funny.
go. We got the atom that they're trying to, this thing that they're trying to throw through the path. Okay, so through the collider, right?
Right?
But it's quite a maze, and I don't think we've got it figured out yet. It's not a straight line, you know, in this or this circle that they've created. This is far more complex. They're trying to create some sort of fantasy, but it's not happening. They've got this big dream that they're going to create something with this collider, right? But it's not happening. Wake up. This is sounding the alarm bells, like stop, right? We don't understand, right? We don't understand what we're doing. I think we're going to have to wait for our friends from outer space.
Oh, let's pull some space cards on it afterwards.
Yeah.
Is that
And then
it?
it's funny that the last card is forget it.
Forget it.
Stop doing this. That's the sense I'm getting. There's no, hey, good job.
Yeah. So what I got is that little bird that flew out of the cage. Uh-oh. Someone left the door open and that thing's gonna fly out. They thought they knew what they were doing and hey, let's go play with this. Let me pull a rabbit out of my hat, but it's upside down. It's not good. This is a chain link event. So
Yes.
once they let that bird out of the cage, they're going to be going, uh-oh, now what? They have to make a decision. Going back to what you said, they think that they're doing the right thing with the good guy. You know, let's do something really cool and create something, but it's going to be kind of like, I don't know. I think it's going to shock them a little bit. It's going to be a lightning bolt. This is the card that and since you're here, I can ask you. You're the best cheat sheet of them all for this deck.
True enough.
Cheat sheet. That's what I meant to say. Pink.
Well, what do I think? What do you think? So female, right?
Yeah.
Could be a Mother Earth energy. Is it messing around with Mother Earth on some level?
Yeah,
something new, like youthful, young.
I don't know. I'll pull some clarifiers on it with my space deck.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of vibing. Maybe it's Mother Nature.
Really? Let me just pull 3 normal ones before I go to
What are you talking about normal?
my space deck. Oh, normal tarot cards. Whoa.
Ooh, that one flew right out.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
3 of Swords. That's why it's pink. It's going to be bleeding. It's not good. You have the 7 of Cups. They don't know what they're doing with this.
Oh.
And they're saying it's for a good cause, or hopefully it won't turn out to be just a total S show. But with that, it's, I don't know.
Because we're playing with molecules that we probably don't even understand.
Yeah.
So I got water, cleansing, purity. Maybe it's going to be a pollutant of some kind to Mother Earth or the water. Like, again, we don't understand it enough to converse about what CERN is and what they're doing. And we probably, the general population, don't know what they're really doing.
Correct.
And maybe, maybe the water that they need to cool it down, maybe it runs on water. Maybe I don't know, like maybe something gets out. Anyways, I shouldn't be saying things in fear, but I truly do believe we shouldn't be fooling around with it as humans.
Right.
Maybe it'll be wonderful.
What's that?
Maybe it'll be wonderful.
Maybe. maybe it'll be the 10 of cups and everybody's cheering.
Yeah.
And then maybe
Not.
So here's what the ETs have to say. I got healing crisis and purging, survival fears, and pushing the envelope.
That's
Okay.
pushing the envelope. Yeah.
But so that's where we are now. But as we go a little bit into the future, and with these cards, they do have past, present, future to them, but I'm not really looking at them that way. There's something with this feminine principle, with the pink card, with the water.
Is it giving birth to something?
I think it is. I think down the road it will, because I got enlightenment and pioneering spirit with Lyra. So I think that that the sense that I get right now is they need to be really careful with what they're doing now until they figure out what they're doing or what they're harnessing or colliding or smashing.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be better in the future. They're going to figure something out that's going to, well, what's it giving birth to?
Right.
Let's see if we can look at that. What kind of energy, what kind of, is it going to be good what they're giving birth to, or bad for the earth what they're giving birth to? Yeah.
So I read briefly on this on one of my shows last week, and I got that it wouldn't be good for Earth, but that would be, it's not an immediate, like really bad for Earth right now, but down the road it is. And I just got a yes with the pendulum that it's not good for Earth.
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing. Is this in the future for Earth? Yeah. Is it creating something? It's taking something away.
Huh.
Is it inverting something? There it is. I got an inversion. So they, instead of create, is it like a, oh, I got goosebumps. Like, I don't know, like a black hole, but like an inversion of something. Is it creating a black hole? Is it like a vacuum? Okay, I'm getting more of like a vacuum. So like inverting, maybe it's inverting space and time, making a vacuum. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I don't understand all that stuff. But yeah. I get that it's not immediate. So that's why I don't want to freak anybody out. Like it's something that will come in many years, like way past like thousands of years or whatever.
Right. So I got foreign, what to believe. So we're still like unsure, but I did get a negative.
Yeah.
Creating a negative, going backwards. And when you said something about it being inverted, that's when I pulled that card upside down. So it's foreign, but it's inverted. So it is, yeah.
I think they're creating something the opposite of what they think they might be creating, or, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, humans.
And will we ever know? Who knows? All right, let's move on to Canada.
Hi.
Hi, Canada.
Hi.
So Canada announced additional sanctions related to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, adding 29 state-sponsored disinformation and propaganda agents. Do you think they'd ever do that to the US?
I don't know what that means because we don't have states here. So what do you mean?
Um,
So 26 state, what?
so Russia has 29 state-sponsored disinformation agents,
Oh,
state-sponsored agents who are,
you say this kind of stuff. That's
right,
wrong. Okay,
right,
I gotcha.
right,
So Canada's put sanctions against those fake.
against Russia and those agents.
Oh, we're pretty smart to do that. That's good.
Yeah. So I want to know, are they going to do that to the US for all our misinformation?
Ooh.
Slap Marjorie Taylor Greene with some misinformation. So is this so this is one of the questions that I've asked on my show before, is, are we getting to a point where rational people are getting tired of the misinformation and are going to do something about it? Because we all are getting tired of it, but is something actually going to be done to curb this misinformation?
Yeah, because everywhere now you don't need, I mean, if people just look at a headline, they don't even know where it's coming from, who said it, if it's even true. It's just some headline splash, and then someone might take it as real information.
Yeah.
And that can't keep happening. That's
Yeah.
Thank goodness we're very smart, Danny. You and I.
Thank goodness. All right. So is the disinformation that's spreading across the world, is that going to be, is it regulated? What would be the question? Is it regulated? Is it?
Well, see, but then who, see, what I get thinking is who's in charge of that? And that's only going to be what they want said.
I know.
Or maybe things get like a stamp on it, like this isn't verified. This is verified. This is not.
Maybe
verified.
you and I could do that.
I think so. An independent council of enlightened individuals.
Right. And somebody will say something, right? And we'll go, 6 of Wands, riding in as a winner. That's true. Right? But you're being skewered, mister. That's a false statement.
Falsity.
We can throw them in jail. Would you want that power?
It just feels like a lot of work. So something, we know something needs to be done, but how is it done in a fair way across the board without invested interest by anyone, right? Yeah. Okay. And yeah, so are we just seeing like globally what the wave is going to be? Yeah, I think if we're going to be able to get a handle on this misinformation. Okay. So things have been covered up, things we haven't been able to see, that we want to see, third eye, or that we maybe know are true, but we can't see it yet. And then we have like authorities involved. Ooh, secret or taking, okay. It can't be controlled by these kind of groups. The 3-letter kind of alphabet groups. It can't be controlled by elected officials in government either. Again, feeling that it has to be extremely independent. but I don't know if it's going to happen. See? So we have what to believe,
Yeah.
what is the truth, what is fake. We have bullseye and then love. Let's hope that means intelligent and love wins. And that humans stick together with this and do the right thing.
Well, and it could be discernment that, we have to know
Yeah.
with our heart space.
Yeah.
So what I got, similar cards, not this one though, the Three of Wands, and it felt like, yes, there are going to be some people taking two different sides, weaving them together to actually get to the truth. Not right, not left, but pulling it together so that we can go, it's probably a little blend, and there is going to be some of that blending, or that's something that we want. I got the Lover's card, which goes along with your Heart card.
Oh, coming together. Yeah.
Yeah. I got the Queen of Cups, and in this deck, she's floating in water, and her cup is open, so she can see what is in the cup. She can see the truth, although she's still in a little bit of fog. And then I got the Queen of Swords, some legal action. So what I'm hearing with my cards is that there's going to be some legal action that will force, and I'm feeling this is companies like business that is saying, we can't support advertising your lies. And I don't know why I'm picking that up on this card. I mean, it's just, that's what I got when I pulled it. So too many secrets that are going to come out, and people are going to work together, but I don't know, there's a lot of fog in this. So I don't think it's going to be coming out really, really soon, but I think down the road it may. Certainly Canada's fed up with it.
Yeah. I mean, everyone wants to know the truth, I should think. Yeah. Even people who are believing things that aren't true, they think they are true. So we need to provide the truth to everyone, so everyone's on the same page.
Right. And with Tucker Carlson, he phrases his wording in such a sneaky way that he asks a question that he forms it like it is a question, but he forms it like a statement. And he's not that I've listened to him very much, but at all, but that's what he does. And it's just manipulation. And I think people are going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
At least I'm hoping. But no timeline on that, that's for sure. All right, let's move on. Japanese Prime Minister.
Honestly, it's not just awful. The man's standing there giving a speech, and I think he was shot in the back through the chest, right? I don't know if he was shot through the... Anyways, either way, it's awful.
Awful, yeah.
But they caught the guy.
Yeah, I haven't, I just saw that he got shot, and then a couple hours later,
he passed from it.
He passed.
Yeah.
So, wish him a smooth transition for sure. Whether you like his politics or not, he's not in politic land anymore. So just wish him a smooth transition. Yeah. And I wonder, when I read that, Japan has the strictest gun laws in the world. Mm. And I wonder if this is gonna start shaking up politicians, because with the 4th of July mass killing, shooting, where everybody is supposedly celebrating just one country, no matter what party you belong to. Is this getting some politicians a little crazy? Are they getting shook up with this one? Are they going to make some additional gun restrictions? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if one of their own, let's say a world leader is taken out this way because of guns, what you're saying, our world leaders going to look at this and really look at this and change? Yeah.
And
wow.
a lot of it is it's US, because gosh dang, we just have so many guns, but and there's no answer. You can't take the guns away that are already sold, but certainly, I mean, for me, it just seems logical to do training and to do a background check in a waiting period. Maybe that guy in Chicago or Illinois wouldn't have been able to get it if we had that.
I think it's a question of also of why do you need the guns? Why do you need many guns? Why do you need an AK, whatever they're called? Why does a person, and I know it's in the Constitution, but let's put that to the side.
The size issue.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, I mean, in Canada, we don't, I mean, we have very strict gun laws here, right? And obviously there's illegal weapons that come across the border. Sure. And what have you. I know Americans feel like they want to be able to have guns to protect themselves, right? But why aren't you guys looking at other countries that don't have them and are okay? We're not being overthrown here in Canada because we have no guns. We're fine. So I think it's sort of fear, right? Like they want to have guns in case the government overthrows them or something happens. I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but look at some other countries that don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's because no one's going to tell us what to do. I think that's
right.
Part of the mentality, because we're the United States. Nobody can tell us. However, there's certainly better ways to do things. And yeah, you should look at other countries. The big problem is it's what our culture keeps throwing out there with media and video games. It's like it's
movies. Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'm going to go pop a cap in somebody's ass and there's no consequences, right? But really, you do it in real life. And I can't believe I just said pop a cap.
Yeah, I was a little nervous. I was, whoa, who's this Danny?
Pop a cap.
Who's gangsta Danny?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I am terrified. It'd be great if the United States would be a leader in peace and be like, hey, we're putting our guns down because we want peace in our country. And we are, if you give us your guns, we're going to give you money for your guns. So we get the guns off the streets.
You made me really sad just then.
Why?
United States, wouldn't it be awesome if we were a country that promoted peace versus promoting all of the war?
Right. Like that's what I mean. When you are in a high elevated state, you should be right sending out, let's save the planet, everybody. Let's put all the guns down. Let's clean up the oceans. Hey, other big countries, I'm going to challenge you to cleaning up the earth with us. Wouldn't that be
yeah,
wonderful?
yeah, and if we took all that money that we were not spending on weapons, wow. But then they go, well, someone will take us over. Maybe they'll do a better job.
It doesn't mean that you don't, let's say, okay, so baby steps, guns off the streets, you can keep the militaries, right? For, little baby steps, this, right? I don't know.
Well, it's, yeah, I mean, that's never, ever gonna happen, but it was just a nice thought.
Well, the more enlightened we get, perhaps in generations to come, there'll be no guns on Earth. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be.
Mhm.
That'd be interesting. Does that mean there'd be no video games too?
Honestly, I was thinking about that today. So, the one that just happened on the 4th of July. And then the other ones, a lot of these guys are young, and I'm not saying all of them play video games, but I'm guessing they might. Is there something going on with that? Because a lot of these games are violent and almost real life in appearance. Yeah. I don't play them, but I know about them. That must desensitize you if you are playing these games that are violent, that look real. That's not healthy.
You just get done whacking a whole bunch of people, and then you hear your mom calling, time for dinner. Oh yeah, okay. And you get up and you go have dinner. I mean, there's no, and then you go back, and it's like, it's just I think it twists you a little bit.
Something, yeah. Like if I had a kid, I would be like, you're never playing those video games, ever. You can play like the little, like lollipops dancing or something, but none of these violent things.
Yeah, until he started bugging you so much, and then you'd go, okay, fine.
No.
You'd be stronger.
There's got to be something odd about you that you want to watch and play violence, like on the regular. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it, but that's my opinion. I could be totally wrong.
Well, for a 12-year-old kid, you're totally wrong, because that's all what their friends are playing. And I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't know. My dog does not play video games and seems pretty happy.
I don't know. I think it's desensitizing.
I know it does. And I remember when Tipper Gore was up in arms about video games and record labels, putting labels on records, obscene or objectionable language, and everybody was up in arms. But to me, it's like, just put a label on it, just let people know and let them make their own decision what they want to buy. But I don't have any answers. My head hurts when I think
it's a lot to think about. But think about someone young who's playing violent video games, and the music they listen to is violent and or derogatory to women or whatever it may be. That's not healthy.
No,
clearly that's not healthy.
Yeah.
If that's a regular in their life. But we can't change the world today, Danny. We can send the intention out.
We'll do that.
Yeah, send
the intention out that we're changing the world to no more guns.
No more violence. Yeah. That
How
feels
would you solve an issue if, like, it got to a point where it's like you're butting heads and you can't solve it? How would you solve it without violence, like major countries going to war and stuff like that?
Well, first of all, you put women in charge.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Enough said. Enough said.
Okay.
You're taking, that's why guys need bigger and bigger guns, because women are going to take over.
And I know some people will say, well, there's some horrible women. Yes, there is, but I don't know what the answer is.
Well,
the answer is kind, enlightened people running the earth.
Right.
Whatever they are.
It's old white guys have been running it long enough. Now it's time to let the women try it. Come on, try it. So let's read on that. When women start controlling the world more, how's it going to be?
I don't know, but feels good. It feels good already just thinking about that. And the reason I say that, and people will say whatever, is I believe from my association with most of the women in my life, including myself, we're not set up for that kind of destructive behavior, that we more would want to nurture and help and solve it versus sending anyone out to die in a war.
Yeah.
That's how I mean, that's my opinion. That's one side to look at it.
It's gonna look like I'm just pulling 3 cards. I don't need any more.
Women will listen to their intuition, right? Women will take a more enlightened approach. It won't be gut reaction and war and things like that. It'll be using those things that are, intuition to help solve. Women can be assertive, but we see we're holding the key. It's more about enlightenment. It's not,
right.
No one's going to be weak. It's about, let's do the right thing for everyone. And then a remaining positive, so positive vibration would emanate. There wouldn't be this. I could never send anybody out to a war. I couldn't, that's not my makeup, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not everybody's, but.
Well, it's certainly not everybody's, because we do it. We do it. Even Wonder Woman does it.
No.
Is that it? Just 2 cards?
Yes. So yes, we can be strong leaders using our, what is he called? The feminine, women's intuition. Able to do things in a strong way and still remain positive. So not a negative conflict type of thing.
Right. Women moving on to calmer waters when they start taking over. So I guess this card is saying we're in rough waters now, in case somebody was wondering, but we will be moving to calmer waters. We have the 9 of Pentacles with the woman listening to the bird on her shoulder, and it's a bird, it's a dove in this deck. So it's a peace dove. It's also listening to the intuition, and it's getting along with everybody with the 4 of Wands. So it's a little celebration. And it's abundance. There's abundance there.
Yeah.
So when we think of, I don't have a big enough gun, then you're thinking lack. I need another gun. I need another war. You're thinking lack instead of there's enough. Well, you're taking this from me, so I'm going to go have a war with you and take it back. We have enough to do everything. We don't need, and that's what your kind is going to show us.
Why aren't we sharing the world? Why are we trying to own pieces of it? And
because we have more oil than the other people. Okay. I'm just
I know.
I-
That conversation does give a headache, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's a tough one. I mean, we don't even have to divide it into male and female, because I know some people will say something about that, but it could just be about a more gentler approach, a more
Yeah.
positive, gentle approach to things, a more harmonized, nurturing approach
right,
to the world, whoever is doing it,
right.
male, female, or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are moving into more of the feminine energy as we ascend, and according to astrology and things like that. So, all right. So let's see, what else should we read on? Bug news.
Yes.
All right. So, which is smarter? Which is the smarter being, life force? Humans, ants, roaches, or bees?
Bees. That's the
Bee.
first. I'm just saying bees. It's not humans, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
And I'd say do you say cockroaches were one?
Well, I didn't say cockroaches. I said roaches, but yeah,
Oh,
cockroaches.
Okay,
Cockroaches.
so roaches know how to survive, but I don't know if that's smart. That's kind of tactical. I think bees know how to create and sustain. I don't know. I just have a feeling. I could be totes. Has anyone actually studied this? Is there a real answer?
Yeah, you're giving it.
Okay, I say bees. I'm going with bees.
All right. Well, I like bees a lot too, so I'll go with bees, but ants could be pretty smart too.
And yeah, build a colony, work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to the bees building a colony. Ants, yeah.
Ants and bees, they're kind of, they kind of do the same, that the hierarchy is very similar. And guess who is who runs the colony?
Obviously.
The king.
No,
Yeah, the king bee.
the queen bee. It's
What about the ant, the king ant?
probably a queen ant, and it's probably a queen.
Ant?
It's probably a queen. Well, I don't know. I don't think cockroaches work together, do they? They're kind of on their own.
They're well, until they're in your kitchen.
Ew. Like, don't they eat each other? I'm starting to get itchy. I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh no. Oh no. All right, well, let's keep going with this because this is so enlightening. All right. So that was bug news. This is plant news.
Okay.
Which is smarter? Humans,
Nope.
trees, or rocks?
Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to pick trees because I think they're more about wisdom. I think rocks probably hold information but aren't using it, whereas I feel trees are actively using their wisdom.
Oh, rocks hold information, but they're not using it. So can we read on this? I want to read on this.
Okay.
So we know that humans don't communicate, even though we have language.
We could be extremely smart, but we stop ourselves. So
yeah, trees do communicate
yes,
through their root structure, and it probably goes all over the world. We think that, oh, it's just the redwoods that are communicating or an orchard, but I bet it's all over the planet.
And I bet it goes way back too. I bet they've kept information from their tree ancestors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah. I
I
agree
think
with
they
that.
actively use their wisdom.
So the question is, so we're both in agreement that humans, they know how to communicate, they don't. Trees do communicate. Rocks have all this knowledge of centuries. Do they communicate with the earth? I know yes, but do they communicate with other rocks or trees or something? You're
And we're
going to
not
use the
talking
pendulum?
crystal. We're not talking crystals, because
We're
crystal's a
talking
whole
rock.
other
We're
thing. We're talking
talking
rocks.
rock.
Okay.
Rock.
Do rocks communicate? The trees communicate to other trees. Do rocks store information? Do rocks talk to other? It's fun. I like this. I like this question.
Wow.
So I just happened to ask if trees talk to trees. I got a yes. And I asked, do rocks hold information? I got yes. And then I asked, do they talk to other rocks? I got a no. Now, is it because I used the word talk? I'm curious to see what you got. Maybe they do telepathy, but I got a no with talking.
So yeah. I didn't get like really clear answer because it's a rock, but I got the devil card. So they're chained to something, and maybe that they can't break free of their constraints of being a rock. So they do have a lot of information, but they don't know how to get it out. But there is, I got the Knave of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and Temperance. So there is some blending of knowledge.
I think it's for us to extract, or other beings to
Yeah.
extract it from the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my shamanic journeys, we actually go talk to rocks and get
Nice.
information from that. So we do extract it out, and I think that that's what these two cards are all about.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
they do want to share, but they don't have a mouth.
They're like they're storing, and it's for us to get it out. Yeah. I love this question. Nice. Nice.
Nice. All right. That's all the bug news I have. That's all the plant news I have. We could look at,
and that's, sorry, I was just gonna say, that's why it's important to be out in nature, because we have the wisdom in the trees, we have the knowledge in the rocks, and these things can come into you. It's so good to be out in nature. Okay, that's my little blurb.
well, and me just coming back from Shasta was it's in being in nature, because we were out there camping. So having bugs fly around your head, and it's almost like they're singing and changing the frequency of thoughts, so that when I was standing in the middle of the forest, I could feel the energy of the trees. I could feel the strength of them. By a waterfall, like just coming out of the mountain, you can feel that energy. It's
100%. Yeah.
so strong. And we get locked up in our cities and in our buildings and don't get out enough.
Yeah.
And we don't listen to rocks and trees. And
I do. I listen to rocks and trees.
Do you? What's your favorite rock on your table right now?
Oh, I don't, well, I was just grabbing this jasper, heart-shaped
Oh,
jasper.
nice.
I don't know if that's my favorite. I'm really into moss agate. That's a
Ooh.
raw one. And then there's more of refined.
Nice.
I just love all. How can you pick, right? I just
Yeah.
love them all.
For me, they change. Certain ones I really like this one. I don't know if you can see it. It's got little, it looks like wood.
It's probably petrified wood. I've got one as well.
Yeah.
And that's another, this is tree that's turned to stone. So the wisdom of the tree is locked in that stone, right? Mm.
This is the wisdom of the ocean in this rock.
Nice.
The edges are smooth. Awesome. All right. We could read on Brittney, or we can end it here.
Well, you're going to leave people with a cliffhanger. Why don't we pull a card for her?
Okay.
Let's pull a card for Brittney.
You know what? Because, God, what?
So now they've made her plead guilty to drug possession or whatever it was. 10 years sentence probably. And then I just read that there might be some type of prisoner swap. So they're going to use her probably to get someone out of like a Russian out of an American prison, right?
Yeah.
And when we read on her, we never saw it was good and that she was stressful. The poor thing, she's being used as a pawn.
Oh yeah.
In a bigger game. It's got nothing to do with her at all.
Yeah. So, and
Let's
you know,
hope
we'll
it
just
gets resolved.
send her some healing energy.
Yes.
As much as we can from world news and everybody around the planet that watches.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about Brittney Griner, is that how you say her last name? The basketball player that's in Russia right now.
Right.
American basketball player being held. So I got optimism. And you know what, that all those hearts kind of looking like flowers, that feels to me like everyone's love being sent over to her and good vibrations. So I'm so glad I got optimism for her.
Yeah. Awesome. And we were talking about a prisoner swamp there, which would have to mean that there's some kind of talk.
Yes.
Between rocks. So there's going to be some kind of alliance. And that's the card that I got, alliance. However, when I look at this card, there's a medicine wheel here. She still has to go around the wheel. And it's, I don't know where she is on the wheel, but you know, she's not in the beginning. And I think she's more 3/4 through. Now she just needs to have some patience, keep her strength up, wait for the alliance to happen. When I read on her first, I go, she's going to get out, but she is not going to be happy.
No,
it's not happening nearly fast enough. And she's been in there for almost a half a year.
I know. Wow. Yeah, I saw lots of like stress and depression for her. Obviously, must be awful.
Yeah.
But now to see it's probably she's just being used as a pawn to get someone out of jail.
Right. So
I just shuffled and I got released. So let's hope that means they release her. I'm
not even gonna pull on that. I'm just gonna live with that one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna end it here, but I just wanted to show my my world peace marble.
I love it.
It's got a little peace sign on it.
Did you get me one?
I'll give you this one. You can have this one.
No.
Send me a self-addressed stamped envelope.
And $700 and it's all yours.
Wow, I wasn't thinking that much, but
Oh.
yeah, no, of course. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you being here. Everybody knows who you are, right?
I don't. I'm Andrea from Lilac Lantern. Come on over and check out my channel. Thank you.
Lilac
There you
Lantern.
There you go.
And
Thanks, Danny.
I'm Danny, not in the bathrobe. Thank you all for watching. Peace and love.